Guys, good afternoon or morning or whatever the heck you're watching this. We got our quiz one review here. I'm actually going to start with problems 3 and 4 because I think it makes more sense to start with problems 3 and 4. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. So find for each problem, find the average rate of change of the function over the given interval. Show all work to prove understanding. So that's what we're going to do. So for each one of these, remember that the main idea for every single one of these problems is that your average rate of change is equivalent to slope, but we're using the fancier calculus looking function notation, f of b minus f of a over b minus a. But again, visually, you're just calculating the slope of the line that connects two coordinates. So step number 1 for each one of these, just go ahead, if you want to go for full perfectness, label each one of these guys. Letter A is 1 and B is 2. That lines up with this guy being A and this guy being the letter B. After that, we're going to need to calculate f of A and f of B for this one. So just to do f of A is equal to 1. So f of 1 here is going to be equal to 2 times 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 1. Use your pre-algebra skills or whatever the heck you're thinking about here. 2 times 1 squared, well, 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2, minus 2, 0 plus 1 is just 1. That's cool. F of 1 is 1. Don't know if that's going to happen when we do f of 2, but we also need to find out what f of 2 is. 2 multiplied by 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. So again, all those x's just became the 1, and then all those x's just became the 2. And doing a little bit of work here, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, minus 4, that's 4, plus 1 is 5. And finally, we need to plug it into our f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So in this case, again, b is 2. So f of 2 is 5. So our average rate of change for this function is going to be 5 minus 1 f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a, and b minus a. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. That, of course, simplifies to 4. Same exact idea on question number 4. For question number 4, you go ahead and label them up. A is equal to -1. B is equal to +1. And we need to figure out what is f of a. F of -1 is going to be -1 squared plus 2 times -1 plus 2. -1 squared is +1. 2 times -1 is -2. Well, -2 and +2 will cancel, so -1 squared is just +1. And now we also need to find f of 1. So we've done our first guy here. We need to do f of b. So now we're plugging in 1 here. And we get, what am I doing? What am I doing? Parentheses. 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 2. This time, no canceling. We just get 1 plus 2 plus 2, which is 5. That's actually kind of interesting. You get the same exact 1 and 5 as you did in this question. That's pure coincidence. Not usually going to happen that way, but pure coincidence. And again, our average rate of change is going to be f of b, that's 5, minus 1 over b minus a. 1 minus -1, that's going to give us 4 divided by 2, which is just 2. Oh, you can't even read what I wrote. It's just 2. Hopefully that was easy enough. For these next two questions, which are actually the first two questions, I'm going up here because this one it says, for each problem, find the average rate of change of the function over the given interval. You may use a calculator and show no work if desired. Well, let me tell you, I do not desire to show any work whatsoever. Let's use our TI-84 or Desmos to do it. So I'm going to do problem number 1 on the TI-84, and then I'm going to do problem number 2 on Desmos just to show you that you could do this at home. Maybe you have a future college class and you don't have the TI-84 available. This is going to give you that other option. So we're going to go ahead and hit y equals first. After you've hit y equals, if there's anything up there, clear it off. That was a question from a calculus lesson earlier. We're going to go ahead and rewrite this function. So we have x squared plus 2x and then plus 1. After you've done that, typed it in, you're going to quit back to the main screen. And we're going to plug in the entire f of b minus f of a over b minus a directly in to the calculator. So to do that, we got to get a fraction bar. Fraction bar can be got by hitting the alpha, y equals, and then enter. If you do that, the fraction bar will show up. And we need f of b. Well, we wrote the function f. That was written as y1. So because that was written as y1, we can now go ahead and replace that y1. And we're going to use the buttons alpha, trace, and then you can see the y1's already highlighted there. So you hit enter. That's kind of like the letter f as a function. So you can now plug in b. B in this problem is the second number that shows up. We have a and b here. A is that number over here for the interval. So alpha y equals, enter for the fraction, -8 divided by 3, parentheses, minus, and now we want to do alpha y equals, oops, I don't know why I said alpha y equals, that's not what we want. We don't want a fraction yet, so we're going to delete that. We need the alpha trace to get the y1 again, parentheses, -3. So again, what we've done so far is this is effectively our f of b. That's effectively our f of a. So f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So we need to make sure we're repeating those same exact numbers. So now it's alpha y equals, enter to get the fraction, -8 over 3. And then minus -3. Don't forget all your negative signs. You hit enter on it. Boom, it'll spit out the correct answer of -11/3. And that is all I need on this question for the test. But be very careful because it's an all or nothing question. You either get this right or you don't. So definitely be careful. Check your work. Make sure it's right. Maybe do it by hand a second time just to ensure that it's correct. All right, problem number 2. So on problem number 2, same exact thing, but I did say I was going to show how to do it over Desmos. So let me get Desmos popped up here. Turn this guy on. How come my Chrome buddy is not popping up here? Come on, OBS. Let's work with me. Properties. There we go. All right, cool. So for this particular one here, to find it on Desmos, the original equation was f of x, and you actually type it in just like it appears on the assignment. So f of x equals x to the second power, and then plus 2x, and then minus 2. And we're doing f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And a is +1, and b is 3 over 2. So we just do f we actually want parentheses first for the numerator. F of 3 over 2 minus, and we're doing f of 1 divided by 3 over 2 minus 1. There's our slope of 4.5. Please note, what this is doing is it is creating the slope of the line between these 2 points when you plug in 3 over 2 and you plug in 1. So that 4.5, 4.5, if I created a function, y equals 4.5 parentheses x minus 1 plus f of 1, you can see that this is simply the slope of the function between where it crosses that 1 and where it crosses at 1.5. Literally just that straight line that goes between it. It looks like it barely taps, but it actually touches in 2 different places. Something just interesting about it. But either way, you can just write 4.5, 4.5. By the way, that will give you full credit on this one here. Turn this one off. There we go. After that, so we just got to write the final answer. So it's just 4.5. You could also write the fraction answer, which is 9 over 2. Oh, it didn't actually transition. My bad. Transition back. There it is. There's that 9 divided by 2. Easy enough. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.